Is it finally about to happen? Is the PS4 about to be dethroned? What's going on, everybody? Beastlygamer here. Welcome to the channel. That is the question for the ages, isn't it? Can the Xbox Scorpio dethrone the PS4? I mean, it's really a good question. And nobody here can say definitively whether or not it's going to happen. Does Microsoft have a chance at putting a huge dent in PlayStation at this point in time? Possibly. I think that it remains to be seen. I think in June we're going to find out exactly what we're looking for, or what we're looking at with the Xbox Scorpio when it comes to the PlayStation 4 Pro. From what I've heard, it's definitely more powerful. That is, without a question. It's going to be able to, theoretically, at least, run multiplats at much higher fidelity, better frame rate, native 4K, up-resing 900p games to native 4K resolution. That's a very big deal. I don't know, though. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm interested. As long as Microsoft doesn't say it's a $700, $800 console, then I'm going to be interested in seeing what they bring to the table. But I don't know necessarily if it's actually going to help Microsoft win this console war for this generation anyway. I think PlayStation's really far ahead. They're doing pretty good. And if the past is any indication, at least for this generation, Xbox has a huge number to jump in order to catch up to PlayStation at this point. If they release an Xbox One Scorpio at a premium price, it's a premium product, they're going to have to sell 30 million of it just to catch up. And I don't know if it has that kind of pedigree, if there are that many extremely hardcore fans who are willing to cough up that kind of money for a console that is the most powerful console of all time. But I found an interesting article I want to share with you guys. I'll drop a link in the description. Xbox Scorpio versus PS4. It's the news PlayStation fans have been dreading. I'm so afraid. Microsoft's Xbox Scorpio has been given a dramatic boost by industry experts, which could finally see the Sony PS4 knocked off the top spot. That is foreboding information. Xbox will regain its position as the #1 console firm in the world when the Scorpio machine hits shelves later this year. Microsoft's game team has fallen behind ever since rival PlayStation launched its PS4 console in November 2013. A confused message around the Xbox One console and botched marketing plan meant Xbox lost ground in the sales war with Sony's Big Beast. But that's all about to change according to industry expert Mac Pascatella. The NPD Group chief reckons Xbox is about to regain its crown and start outselling PS4 again like in the glory days of the Xbox 360. Now that's a tall order. I'm not saying it's not possible, because it very well is possible. But you gotta ask yourself, how likely is that going to happen? He believes the winter launch of the Xbox Scorpio, dubbed the most powerful console ever, will send profits skyrocketing. I think Microsoft will definitely see a boost in profits. And even Sony's souped-up PS4 Pro machine won't be able to keep pace ahead of the Christmas sales rush. Ooh. Now, I'm going to own one, but it's very hard for me to see that happening. And I don't know if it's me being a pessimist about Xbox or an optimist about PlayStation or just being a realist, but it just seems like they're just so far ahead. He said, quote, "I remain bullish on the Scorpio in the US market, particularly in the launch year. I think Scorpio has the potential to push the Xbox One sales ahead of the PS4 in the US in 2017. Whew! Big words, Mr. NPD. Jeez. He continues by saying, adoption among the core gaming audience could be significant, and while this is a niche audience to target, it's the niche which is necessary to put the Scorpio on a path to longer-term mass market adoption," end quote. I don't know. It seems like that's an antithesis. That comment is an oxymoron. The niche audience is going to put it on the path to mass market adoption? So I'm guessing he's saying that the niche buyers will pick this thing up to show everyone else, and it'll just be kind of word of mouth and people seeing the Scorpio is going to send it over the top. Interesting point of view. But gamers will ultimately only really go crazy for the console if Microsoft announces a raft of top games worth buying alongside it at June's E3 press conference. And that's totally true. And I hope that Phil Spencer and team can really bring some amazing games out. If they can, yeah, Sony will have some problems. Have they been able to at this point? Not so much. I mean, if you just look at the exclusives that have been coming out, PlayStation versus Xbox has been kind of a landslide on PlayStation side and kind of a trickle on the Xbox side. So if Microsoft can pull out the stops at E3 and say there's going to be 10 exclusives, and here they are for the Scorpio, then that's going to be a big deal. Ultimately, people buy consoles to play great games, Piscatella said. No matter how amazing the tech specs are, if attractive content doesn't show up, the mass market won't adopt. Very true. And that was the end of his quote. The Scorpio fight back comes as industry experts suggest more developers are turning backs on the fading Xbox One console. The machine was slated ahead of its release because it promised to be a, quote, all-in-one, end quote, TV and gaming unit and required constant internet connectivity to work. They botched that. But Microsoft embarrassingly backtracked on both ideas over time, allowing the gamer-focused PS4 to conquer in the sales war. DFC intelligence head David Cole said this, and it's very true, quote, Microsoft was once going to go after a broad consumer base, but now they are stuck targeting the bleeding edge of game consumers that want the highest performance hardware and are more concerned with specs than actual games. In DFC's latest report on upcoming games, we noted that more and more developers are opting not to release Xbox One versions of their games this season. Project Scorpio does not give them a reason to change that because it is really targeted towards core Xbox fans that are already converted. For Xbox Scorpio to succeed, Microsoft somehow needs to convince non-Xbox owners to convert. That's a hell of a statement there, and it's very true. Who's really going to buy the Scorpio? Are PS4 gamers going to buy it? Just people who aren't like me or hardcore gamers, are they just going to buy the Scorpio because it's more powerful? It needs to have games, and it needs to be meaningful. This is all you need to know, and this is kind of the thorn in the Scorpio side, if you think about it. The Scorpio is an up-res Xbox One that still won't be able to play games at the highest levels of PC. It's true. The Xbox Scorpio may be close, but people who want power are probably going to go for the PC because it's still able to outperform the Scorpio. It's kind of a sad reality that Microsoft put into play themselves. Microsoft wanted to go with the Windows 10 initiative, or the cross-platform Xbox Windows 10 initiative, where most of their games are going to the PC, and honestly, it's going to hurt the Scorpio in the end for the people who want the power. If you only want the power, you're going to play on PC. But if you want the games, you're going to play in a console that only has those games. That's why PlayStation's doing so well. You can't find really any Sony exclusives on PC. You can't do it. In order to play Sony games, PlayStation games, you've got to have a PlayStation. And I think that's kind of, a slow, they're bleeding out. The Xbox brand is bleeding out because hardcore fans who just want the games are going to be able to do it on PC. You guys let me know what you think about this article. What do you think about the whole idea of the Xbox Scorpio beating the PlayStation 4 in 2017? Do you guys think Christmas is just going to open the floodgates of Xbox Scorpio adopters, or do you think that this thing is going to be a slow trickle? Here's my thoughts. I think that the Scorpio is going to do well. I think it's going to be an initial boom for the holiday season, and after that it's going to slow down to a trickle. Because I think that the hardcore Xbox fans are going to go. They're going to go immediately. And over time, people who see the multi-plats and notice differences, if Microsoft can get these developers to do things for the Scorpio that aren't on the Xbox One and PS4, if they can get extra textures and extra flourishes in their games, and people start to notice that, wow, that looks so much different than my PS4 or my Xbox One, then people will adopt. But the number one thing that the Xbox needs is games. They need games more than power. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a perfect example. It's on the most underpowered console this generation. It's probably game of the year. You need games, Microsoft. Power is great, but it pales in comparison to quality games. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it's possible the Scorpio could beat the PS4 Pro? They've only got like a 30 million lead right now, and I'm sure that during the holiday season, the PlayStation is going to sell like crazy because there's going to be all kinds of Horizon bundles and Neo bundles and whatever else they come up with at the end of the year. And there's going to be big competition for the Xbox Scorpio. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to give a thumbs up, show support for the channel, join the Facebook group, follow me on Twitter, and you can become a patron and support my dreams of becoming a full-time content creator at my Patreon page in the link in the description. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.